so here we are on El Haluf, and it's a Tier 10 match, and it's the 357 matchup. So, they've got a 50B, so both teams have an autoloader. They matched me up with the E5 and the autoloader with the 50B with the MX M454, which I thought was a little weird. Both have bad chats. Pretty comparable team. We did get a T54, which the guy was a jackass and didn't do nothing. It was worthless. And they did get a 257. So I don't know. You know, I know Matchmaker tries to match it as best they can as we get rammed in the side by somebody that needs to get a driver's license to drive his P44 Pantera. Let me go ahead and change this around a little bit because I always forget. Bring that up a little bigger. I'm gonna do something real quick, guys. And minimap transparency. I think I take it this way. Yeah, because it's kind of dark. But anyways, so I'm going to go over here, kind of where the heavies, tier 10, so on and so forth, fight it out. And also one thing I noticed, if you ever watch a lot of your tier 10 players, your frontal armor is on the front of your tank. So when you're going this way, and you got tanks that are over here that can get shots on your side, like this Conway, KV4, Tiger 2, they're giving them the sides of their turrets. Easiest, easy to pen there. Way easier to pen on the side than it is the front. And do yourself a favor, when you're going across an area where you could get shot in the side, turn your turret and face them, so at least if they aim at you and they just happen to shoot high and it hits your turret, it's going to hit the front of your turret and it probably will not penetrate. Versus like the Conway, KV4, and Tiger 2 are giving them their side of their turret, and if they get spotted, they can put it right through the side of that turret. Easy cheesy. So anyways, we're kind of hauling Keister over here, looking for any spots, because we did have our bad chat 12T and 1390 get down there. Kind of early spots, and they did get in a good forward position as I get ran by the Conway. And you can see they've already getting some lights up here with the bat chat, and I figured I'm going to push across right here just to get up into this area up here where the worthless T54 54 lightweight, and all of a sudden I saw a Leopard PTA. Unfortunately, I did have a magazine of heat shells loaded, so we aim in all the way and we just rock and roll. And 57 heavy is pretty accurate, and we go ahead and take him out. So we've already got 1,407 damage and a kill within the first minute and a half of the game. And as you can see, their bat chat, why he went up here, our 54 lightweight's almost dead. Our MX M454, our worthless T54 that gets, watch this, he gets in here cockeyed and just sits there. That's his position right there. He's there until I actually push him. And so I got a standard magazine that did hit the top of the turret, or excuse me, top of the hull on the 50B, so that one I can see bounce, but the 50B aimed at the commander's cupola, bounced that one. Tried hitting the lower plate and went for the commander's hatch again on the 50B, or on the T110E5. So bounced the whole magazine of standard rounds. So I'm like, screw this, I'm going for gold rounds. I figured I would just go premium rounds magazine, then a magazine of standard, magazine of premium, magazine of standard, swap back and forth. And as you can see, our 54 is helping the team oh so much. Just worthless. He'd have been better off driving right here sideways and dying, so we could have used his carcass for armor, because that's what you call a shit player right there. I mean, he's not the worst player in the world. He's got a 491 WN8. It's not the best with 10,000 matches and a 47% win rate, but that's why he's got crappy stats, because he plays like that. So anyways, being that the 57 or T54 is nothing but in the way, you got to be careful. I do like the 57 heavy because of the load time. This bat chat, the bat chat dropped down in this bowl right here, and when he did that, came down in here, basically he just made our life miserable, because anybody shooting across here, he's gonna get shots on. Anybody on our team that tries coming around here, you know, to get shots at these guys up here. He's got shots on, but these guys over here, which really there is nothing. Just these guys on the corner. But anyway, so now the bat chat, every time we pull forward to get shots at these guys up here, has shots at our lower plate. So, what I planned on doing, if possible, is taking that bat chat out. He's got a lot of health, 1525 out of 1800. I can clip him out with a magazine, a full magazine, as long as they all penetrate. So, I planned on getting loaded up and seeing what we can do. I wanted to try whittling them down a little bit. So we hit them there for a 380, a low roll, and that one I think we missed. That one we hit for 393, and that one we hit for, let me see what we hit him for in the third one, 342. So yeah, one round bouncing caused him to have 410 hit points left. So it was a good thing I didn't roll down there right then, because I think he actually had a round or two left. I'm now loading, and I could have rammed into him. I don't think I would have got enough speed to ram into him and kill him. And if he would have knocked my track off, I would have been in deep crap, because for one, if he's loaded, he's going to be able to just put rounds in me. And I still got a good chunk of health, but I imagine these guys up here, the group, would probably roll right over the hill and help him. And you can see the T-54 is still doing an awesome job of nothing. And now we've got a Conway that was sitting over here. I don't know if he's backing up. I think he's heading the other way. So basically, I'm just going to back up. I'm loading a premium round again, because I'm just, when I bounced here, I figured I'd help this worthless guy. So we straightened him out, and then it looks like he was about ready to roll over. I would have laughed. If he would have rolled on the side, I would have left him. But he's nothing in the way, But anyways, so the bat chat, I'm just thinking I'm going to put a shot in here, a couple into the 57 heavy, and like I said, then he knocks my track off, shoots me in the lower plate, and I've had enough. I'm going to ram him and shoot him. So I hit him with a second round, and it actually bounced. So we got one round left. These guys don't know that. They don't know how many rounds I have unless the bat chat tells him. But I'm just trying to, you know, get in a position where I can get shots off. But now I got to worry about these guys coming around here and getting shots at me, because these guys over here are behind the hill. Obviously, they're getting kind of whittled down. We get a shot into... Yeah, I didn't want them to know I was empty, so I kind of kept up there like I was, you know, still loaded. And then I kind of head over this way to the right. And this is where these guys pretty much fail me miserably, because the Tiger II is full health. The M4 54 still got 3/4 of his health. And the worthless, I don't even... Oh, there's the T-54. He finally moved over there. And... he's already down to 882 health, and I think he did like 1 or 2 shots of damage. Just a shit player. But anyway, so now I got to rely on my team to stop these 2 tanks, which the T-110E5 is pretty much, I mean, I don't want to say a 1-shot, at least close to a 2-shot, and the prototype's coming up here, and the 50B is, I think, back down, but I think he's still up in that area. So now I got to worry about these guys rolling over on me, and hoping these guys will at least, you know, be my backup, and possibly even the T-54. This is where you got to count on your team, because the KV-4 is kind of hasn't moved since he got whittled down a little bit. So these guys have a lot of health. I mean, you look at the ISM. Whoops. Let's see what we got here. How do you do that? Is it Alt? Yeah, okay. So we got the Object 257 he's got 1394, so he's got a good chunk of his health. The T-30 is full health, and the ISM is full health. So I wanted to hit at least each one of those one time for one, back them off, and also get some of their hit point pool taken down a little bit. I could have put them all into one tank, but I would rather take and kind of dish it out evenly, so they all are about 400, give or take, whatever I hit them for, less of hit points, so that if they push, is one less shot that our team has to put them into them. So I got to be real careful that I don't get hit by the T30. Let's see where he hit me. I love it when I can see exactly where they hit me. And it's really annoying when you can't see. Because obviously the greens are... Oh, there it is right here. So that one was a bounce. Standard round. And that one he actually put right through. So that must... Maybe that's a weak spot right there. Very well could be. Because this one hit just above it and it bounced. That one hit just below, right on it, and it went right through. But anyways, so we've hit the ISM once. We hit the Object 257 once, and I'm going to go for the T30 once. And I've got one shell left, but I didn't want anybody to really know I only had one shell left because I didn't want to reload yet. And you can see the 50B is still up there like I thought he was. And we put that round into him, but now I'm loading, and now this is where these guys over here, if I can get this to work, these guys over here I really need to watch because all they got to do is roll out here a little bit, and they've got good shots into my turret because the KV-4 is nowhere to be seen. The T-54 is now back up here hiding because, like I said, he's just worthless. And did we lose our KV-4? Or did he just... no, it looks like he actually got knocked out because I think it's this one right here. Yep, KV-4. Hard to read it. It's kind of mixed in there. So I've got to really watch it because these guys can now easily roll around on me, and these guys can easily roll over and shoot me in the side. But that's where I'm counting on the full health Tiger 2 and the AMX to help me out in that aspect if these guys start pushing forward to hold them off my back and put rounds into them. So there we get hit. There, that's what I'm saying right there. That 50B is easily could get shot by the Tiger 2 or the AMX M4. They haven't shot, they're loaded, and they're just sitting there, while the AMX 50B leisurely puts rounds into my turret. And these guys are 3 tanks, now all, well, and a tank destroyer, are all rolling this way, and I am a one-shot with 148 points with a knocked out gun. So I'm watching these guys back here going, gee, thanks for nothing, guys, and doing the best I can, but unfortunately it wasn't good enough because the AMX 50B was just easy enough because these guys still did not shoot at him, and he put another shot into me. As you can see, his health hasn't gone down any. So yeah, that's where you cannot count on your team in a pubie match because pretty much they are concerned about one thing, and that's the tank that they're in and themselves. They don't give a rat's ass about anybody on their team but themselves. We go on to win this match. You know, it's 8-5 right now. They do start catching up a little bit, but we end up pretty much rolling over them. So, but it's just kind of disappointing when you got a full health Tiger 2 and an AMX M4 that's got 3/4 of his health and a worthless T-54 now that is hiding over here, because you can see the whole group of tanks is right here. All of them are. The T-54 is hiding on the side of this hill with absolutely nothing to shoot at. So, you know, that's just your typical pubie match, unfortunately. But yeah, you know, kudos to the 50B for being able to take me out, and you know, he did I think he did the most damage for his team. But yeah, kudos to him for taking me out because he saw the threat that an autoloader's right here, and my team isn't covering me, so he just took advantage of that and knocked me out. So anyways, if you guys want to hold on for a minute, I will have some post-game stats, so I'll be right back. Alrighty, so here's the result of that match. That's where you got to look at not being able to count on pubbies in your match, because I dropped down into that little bowl. Basically, every time I go to pull out, T125 would try plugging me. 50B would try plugging me, and you know, you're giving them your lower plate every time you pull out. We had some worthless players there. Which ones were they? Let's see. The T-54 lightweight. No, was that him? Yeah, I think it was a T-54 lightweight. He was a worthless piece of shit. Here he is in a lightweight light tank that should be spotting, and he sat there and did nothing but get out of my way. I ended up pushing him out of the way, almost tipped him over. I mean, he was just that's how he was. He'd have been better off on his. Oh wait, no. It was the T-54. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was a T-54. He was worthless. He'd have been better on his side or on his turret because that's about as much as he was doing anyways. He's just got in the way. Uh, Tiger 2, he was another one. He was up there, and he was about worthless. The MXM4 54 there, he did a pretty good amount of damage, but when I dropped down in that bowl, I had guys shooting me from the top left and the bottom right because those guys just backed off. They didn't do shit to even attempt to help me, and I ended up getting taken out because of that. You know, you just lesson learned, really. I mean, I should have known you cannot count on anybody that's in a pub match. You just can't. Anyways, that was a Mastery Badge Class 2, Fire for Effect, and a high caliber, and we got 2 bonds. Made 64,497 credits, but when I was bouncing off the front, I put 4 rounds in between the T110E5, and I put a couple into the 50B, and when I bounced all 4 rounds, I said screw it and went right over to premium rounds. Fuck it, you know, I'm not gonna bounce round after round after round, so I just put premium rounds and swapped in between premium and standard magazines. But 50B, we hit him once for 365 and knocked out his observation device, bounced one of his rounds. T110E5 penned him all at one time for 380. Batchat 25T, we penned him 4 times for 1525, finished him off. Knocked out his track and his commander, bounced 3 of his rounds for 390. Ajip 257, we hit him once for 431, and we spotted him. He got hit for 58 damage. Originally spotted him too. Leopard PTA in the beginning there, we hit him 4 times for 1407. That I wish was a standard magazine, but I'd already loaded premium because, I mean, that you can go through them with literally Q-tips. So it was kind of overkill, but it was too late. I already loaded it. You know, what are you going to do? Second magazine, put standard in, bounced every one of the rounds. So, you know, if I would have had a standard round loaded first, would have went through that Leopard PTA, no problem. It was quite a distance, but, you know, that's where your heat rounds don't lose penetration over distance. So, you know, with standard round, there's a chance I might have bounced one off the PTA, but I highly doubt it just because it has no armor. And we also knocked out his ammo rack. T30, we hit him once for 383, and the ISM, we hit him once for 367, bounced one of his rounds for 390. And what I did is that ISM, T30, and 257 were on that corner, and why I dropped down like I did into that little bowl and had the T110E5 and the 50B above me. There was something else up there. Was for one to take the bat chat out because every time we'd pull forward, he tried just shooting us on the lower plate. He needed to be gone. Second, on the right side where the ISM, T30, and Object 257 were, they were holding that corner like a boss, and what I did is I went around the corner, put a round in each one of them, and hoping to get them to kind of back off, to give the guys that were trying to fight against them a chance to push forward or get some shots into them when they basically turned their guns at me. We did the most damage at 4,858, got 2 kills and a base experience of 886. I was kind of surprised that was a little bit low. It was like third highest. You know, I didn't see what the bat chat did, but he did a good amount of damage. Good player, really good player. I actually know the name from Clan Wars, so yeah, really good player. So we had 20 shots, 18 hit, pen 13. 4,858 damage from a distance of 300 meters or more, 1407, and that was on that Leopard BTA. We got hit 11 times, 6 pen, 5 bounce, so we bounced 1180. Spotted 1, damaged 7, destroyed 2, and damage with our assistance was 58. And we lost 57,649 credits due to the fact that I shot a lot of premium. Made 2 bonds out of the deal, so not too shabby. But yeah, I was pretty well pissed off that, you know, I dropped down in the bowl and those assholes that were above behind me that should have been covering me so that the 50B and the E5 couldn't just roll over and shoot me in the back of the turret. They just backed off and let them do it. And it's like, you know, thanks guys. Great team. I mean, we won. It's just sad. But Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the match. If you did, please click the like button down below and subscribe to the channel. You guys take it easy, be safe, and I'll see you on the battlefield.